A little bit overcast today. Some dark clouds. But we still have to take a little walk. See what the world around me is like. Warm and cloudy. Hope everyone is doing okay. Staying calm, finding some things to do that relax you. Keeping your plans up to date as things transpire. Uh, Even though the clouds were out, I pressed on thinking, oh, I have enough time before the rain falls. But looks like the raindrops are coming. Overconfidence. Oh my goodness. I often laugh at that, when I see it in other people. But today, I laugh at it myself. Anyway, I was sitting around the house doing nothing. Well, I wasn't doing. That's not exactly factual. I was doing something, but just scrolling through the world or the events that are occurring. And seeing there are lots of people now who are, I guess, catching up on what's going on and giving their opinions. And some people are just screaming loud, World War III is coming. Trump is about to start World War III. People who didn't pay attention, who didn't watch the world unfolding around them. Sometimes people, like every day I walk this road or drive this road or I go for a walk. And I can see the changes as they occur. Looking out at the ocean is what I call flat. What most people who do any fishing on the ocean call flat. The water is flat. You don't see any white caps. It means that it can be caused by a couple of things. But the air pressure above the water is keeping this. That's why it's like that. Even though you have wind, wind gusts, but the water is so flat. No white caps. No waves. And it could be a good time to fish. If you're prepared. If you were prepared for it, good time to fish. Go down, throw everything in your boat. But if you're not, your rods are not ready and all that, it's not a good time to fish. Young, good advice from a young man. Said the water's sweet. Go down to Bathsheba and see it. Anyway, some people who have not been paying attention to what's going on, they focus on something else completely different. It's like the people who run into the store just 5 or 6 hours before the hurricane arrives to get all they need to prepare for the hurricane. And they be shouting, hurricane's coming, but people have been saying the hurricane is coming. Hurricane is approaching. And they've been giving you updates every day. Nevertheless, it's shouting loud. You see the some of these people, they put up some things that show the world burning, the whole planet burning. And the funny thing is that the planet is not burning in the place that they are. They hear about the war and they read all the false information about what one person is doing, one side is doing, and the other side is not doing. And how, like, if I listen to Donald Trump, I can make a video showing all of Iran just in flames. And I can show people walking around in Israel, enjoying life. And that is not the case. As a matter of fact, Israel long ago tell their people, you will not make any videos showing exactly what happened in Israel. And not only Israel, if you make a video in UAE or Saudi Arabia or Qatar showing the facts about what's happening, you will go to jail. They will lock you up. They made several announcements about that. The facts, they say if you show the facts, we will lock you up because the facts make them look bad. The facts show that they can't defend themselves. They have to have America defending them. You can imagine that. The king of this country is saying, I can't defend my people. And the people still let him remain king. It's the way it is in their world. And it's not just them. All across Africa. Imagine you go to an African Union meeting and the man who they elected to spokesperson to the African Union says, all these people having coup d'etats, and, we got to stop this. But they had the coup d'etat in Kenya now. The people tell the president he's got to go. No, he put the army in the street, shoot the people who said he must go. Uganda, look at what, this old man just threw out all the ballots and put the ballots in for himself. The people who chose somebody else, and he said, nah, we're not accepting that. Tanzania, the woman in there says, no, I don't want nobody else running in this election but me. And I'm getting 90% of the vote. African Union spokesperson said nothing about this. But here, Niger, and Burkina Faso, the people who running the country is doing what the people of that country wants done. And this African Union spokesperson is saying that's not the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be democratic. The democratic leaders that were there stole all the money. That's what democracy is in Africa. Democracy in Africa is a wicked prospect. Anyway, just hearing about the World War III is starting. We're going to have World War III. World War III started. As a matter of fact, we never had a World War III. World War One is still fight. They're still fighting World War One. It never ended. The same issues that caused that war. They signed a peace treaty. Said we're gonna make peace among each other. You're not gonna fight each other for the time being. Then later on, they start them again. They rebuild the weapons and start fighting each other again. The war against Russia has been going on before Peter the Great. As a matter of fact, if you read the history, he had to burn down the capital so that the Europeans won't be able to take it and conquer Russia. Hitler followed up with that. The British, the French, all of them attacked what they were calling the Bolshevik when the Tsar Nicholas was overthrown. After World War II, they set up NATO to fight against the Russians. Now you have Ukraine war, the war going on in Iran. It's all the same war. There has never been peace on earth. Always been war. Always. When I was growing up, British history I read about something called 100-Year War. Can you imagine Britain fighting a war for 100 years? Imagine the Crusades now. 1,000 years. Rome was always at war. Always at war. When America wasn't fighting a war, external war against the British or the French or against the Indians, they call them, they were fighting Caucasian against Caucasian. In America, it's still Caucasian against Caucasian. We got MAGA against and the so-called conservative against the so-called liberals. And the funny thing is that the people they call liberals, shoot, if Biden is a liberal, man, If Obama is a liberal, huh? And people will come against me for saying Obama is not a liberal. No, it's chosen by Queen Elizabeth, and that's what conservatism is. Conservatism is the queen ruled by the king or queen. They want the old system. You listen to them saying, we want to make America great again. When was America great? During slavery. You listen carefully. World War III. Please now. I have to go get a walk and kind of look at this atmosphere and breathe some fresh air, get some sunshine, even though sprinkled clouds, Get out and go do something besides sit there and listen to this, frustrate myself. No. Anyway, those of you who've been listening to me and kind of don't just listen to me, just check me. I am serious. Check me now. When you go read something, go look up what things that I talk about. Go look it up. All you gotta do is you hear me mention a subject, right on your cell phone. Google whatever the subject is. Read about it. Read a few sources, not just one, because what you have is a competition in this world of narratives when you talk about the media. There's the fact and the narrative. The other day I was listening to this program about the guy was talking about Russians now. He's talking about intelligence. When I say intelligence, I'm not talking about people intelligence. Well, yes it is, but agencies around the world. He says that Mossad is the best, that they infiltrate everybody. And the guy who was hosting the program just having a mention, what about the CIA? He said, well, I got friends in the CIA, they're retired, so I don't want to talk about that subject. You're talking about when you talk about that subject, Mossad has a reputation. They're good at some of the things that they do, but not everybody acts in the manner that they act. And their association with the British MI6, the German, French, and all those Europeans, All right. Is in a way they run those agencies. They can walk into any agency in the world. Seriously, when I heard that said, I was shocked. I didn't think that the CIA, a Mossad agent, can walk into the CIA building headquarters. I didn't think so. But over time, the facts prove themselves. So, like if I had not investigated, like I told you, investigate, I wouldn't learn the facts. I would still be in a position where I'm saying that, you know, CIA runs the world, not really considering that somebody else maybe the CIA may run the world, but the guy is in charge of the CIA is the Mossad. Same thing happens when I began to hear about congressmen being owned by Israel. That's not possible. America is the strongest country in the world. But I saw through the years what happened if one of those congressmen even questioned the action by the government of Israel. So, my education, your education, you hear me say something, don't just accept it. In your hands is the biggest library in our time, the best access to information in our time. Some of it is not good, but you will determine what's good and what it's not by seeing both sides. Because you're watching the best video that ever was made when you watch Donald Trump tell the world what he's going to do the morning that he started the war in the Middle East, the conflict against Iran, this time around. And then watch as he changed during the last 11 days. Not only him, but the people in his administration, the people in the US military, the congressmen, governments all over the world. You watch them as they change and change their talking points, change the narrative. You know, it's like me say, I'm going home. And then I stop somewhere. I'll go home later. Somebody said, "When you go home later?" You said you were going home. You know, I gave an excuse. Well, I changed my mind about going home now. You know, that's the way the war is going. You're gonna be shocked and awe. It's gonna be over in a day. Be over in 3 days. Be over in a week. You know, this is war. You know, wars go on for a long time. Wars don't end. See, the truth is coming out. That's the way you have to study. The facts always gonna come. And as I told you before, it's not that knowledge will increase, it's that what was hidden is going to be able to be, you're going to see it. It's going to come into view, like when you're in your house and you don't see the sun, it's light outside. Then you come outside and you see the sun. It's not the moon or some other light. Now you see the sun is there. All right, peace. Sorry for the run on, but just walking and talking. Peace.